Hello YouTube, my name is Scott and I just got around to watching She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, Season 5, Episode 9. Upon returning to Etheria, everybody's fairly bummed out to realize that the rebellion is not only not where it's supposed to be, but seems to have been destroyed. So they travel to the nearest village, Airlandia, to see what's going on. Unfortunately, the place is being patrolled by, a bunch of Prime clones. Although, interestingly, the villagers themselves aren't chipped. They're just too scared to do anything. And while everybody's poking around, trying to figure out what's going on, and Rung Hordak learns how to wink and kind of freaks Adora out with it for a second, who shows up but a chipped Spinnerella who starts blasting wind all over the place. And it's kind of a one-sided fight until Natasha shows up and fights her off with her nets. And given that the two of them are married, it's very difficult for Natasha to have to battle her wife, but there's nothing that can be done about it. Everybody retreats long enough to regroup and start attacking the clones left and right. And Spinnerella and Natasha face off. And Adora apparently has a new morphing into She-Ra sequence since she broke the sword. So that's good for her. And one thing I hadn't actually noticed this whole time, because I'd been skipping the intro, it's been changing this whole time. It would usually end with like an establishing shot of the trio and the princesses and their allies, and that's been changing back and forth depending on who's chipped, who's an enemy, who's a friend. Scorpio's in there a little bit for a while. Catra was there. King Micah was there. But anyway, I'm getting way off track. There's this one point in the battle where it looks like Natasha almost gets through to Spinnerella before that darn chip in her neck takes over again. But they still manage to fight her off and free the village. Like, there's a symbol, like Horde Prime symbol is over the village, and Adora replaces it with a symbol of She-Ra's sword. And then there's a happy-ish reunion with what's left of the rebellion, because Perfuma sends out a bunch of vines to trap them until Frosta can make sure that they have no chips in their necks. And Frosta also sucker punches Catra with a ice glove, because obviously they don't know that Catra's on their side. It's really funny, because she totally never sees it coming, just... Yeah. Anyway, back on Lord Prime's ship, he is not happy because suddenly he's got rebellions springing up on all these other conquered planets. And they're apparently all rebelling in the name of, well, the rebellion, but also She-Ra. And he decides he needs to get information from one of his former bodies. Apparently he stores them and their memories and can access them when he needs to. And this entire time, he's being assisted by one of his clones that he apparently doesn't realize is the Hordak that came from Etheria and still has a piece of First One's tech on him and can remember his previous memories, including Entrapta. And it seems like he's going to do something, but he hasn't done anything yet, and I don't know what it's going to be. But, I mean, hopefully it'll work for the rebellion. Or he's just going to try to kill off Horde Prime so that he can have a shot at retaking Etheria again. If they're lucky, he will stop Prime's plan to find a way to use the heart of Etheria without She-Ra. And, let's see, right at the end, the rebellion does that thing they did at the end of a couple of the Star Wars movies where they all stand there and pose for a picture that nobody's going to take. I don't know if that was a reference or not, but I found it very interesting. That and when Swiftwind tackled She-Ra because he was so happy to see her. But with 4 episodes to go after this, I guess we'll see what happens as everything rapidly comes to a close. So, I will see you guys next time.